jump into what you've been playing this week. I'm gonna go first real quick because it's not been much. I've been working from the office this week, so I haven't had much time. But I've been playing Horizon Forbidden, no, not Forbidden West, Zero Dawn, and progressing with the storyline. I finally got that pack where I can just do unlimited travel, so I'm just like going everywhere, doing like random missions now.
Yeah.
Like, and I got one more of the tall necks, so I think I have like two left. So
Mhm.
I'm
Nice. So
progressing pretty.
you've explored like most of the map.
Yeah. I have like two or three tall necks left, and like two cauldrons left.
How
So
how how far do you think you are in the story?
I have no idea.
If you
Are
got
you
three
liking it?
tall necks and two cauldrons, I feel like you got a ways to go.
Oh,
It
okay.
sounds like you're enjoying it though.
Oh yeah, no, it's really cool. I'm loving it so far. Um, but yeah, I like the open world stuff because like I loved Zelda. I explored the shit out of Zelda, and I'm kind of doing the same thing with this one.
Zelda
Um,
was huge too, man.
yeah. And I'm pretty sure Zelda was bigger than this one in just
Yeah.
exploration.
Hmm.
But yeah, so I don't know.
How do you feel in the combat?
It's pretty good. I got the hang of it pretty quickly, and I strategize. Like I'll fight it once. If I die, I'm just like, all right. So I kind of see it. The only one that took me a while was that the digger one that goes underground and
Hmm.
comes back up. That's the
Rockbreaker.
yeah, that's the only one that took me
I've been trying to remember the name
like
of that shit for like
15
3 weeks.
tries to beat that shit for some reason. But everything
What
else I've gotten pretty quickly.
Nice.
what's your favorite part of the game? Like, what do you find yourself enjoying the most?
The hair, just Aloy's hair.
I do like redheads. Um, I like I just like the animals, like the robotic animals, and
Oh,
like I just think they're cool. Like
Mhm.
it's
I thought he was about to be like the turkeys and the foxes. They're just
yeah,
The
no, they're
boars.
yeah.
Oh my
I love the
god.
turkeys and the foxes.
The farm animals are amazing.
But my favorites are the raccoons. The
Mhm,
sound
mhm.
they make when I shoot an arrow through their head.
That's perfect. That's it.
Dude, in the sequel, like I made every animal like extinct. I was just murdering all of them.
Damn.
I got to the point where it's like I didn't even shoot the birds out the sky. I would jump up and just hit them with my spear.
Is that for resources or are you just killing them to
Yeah,
kill them?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
For me, yeah.
resources.
Yes.
Remember I was talking about fatty meat last time?
Bird dead.
But yeah, so that's me. Disco, what you been playing?
I I've been playing Vampire. I've been like kind of stuck on this. I was really gonna switch games this week, but then I don't know. Some-
You
something
didn't do your
convinced
homework.
me-
You didn't do
Hold
your
up.
homework, you son of a
Like
bitch.
Van-
No, I
Vampire
was
with a what?
procrastinating.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
procrastinating.
He's playing it on the Switch.
Good,
Oh,
good
you
Worst
old.
play that game?
procrastinator.
He said people play that game.
It's Danny really is the only person I know that's played the game.
Wait a minute. On Switch, is it even the actual game or is it cloud streamed?
It's the actual game. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I didn't think they could get
Yeah,
that.
they
Isn't
did
this?
it, and it's actually a decent port. I mean, actually, I never played. I played it on Xbox for like 5% of the game, and I
Yeah.
finally
Cool.
finished it on the Switch.
Danny does have
Yeah.
the benefit of like he plays most stuff on Switch, so it's like he doesn't feel the effect that like you do if you play like
Yeah.
on a regular
I've
console.
never
So it's
played it
like
on
I
another
love
console.
seeing it through his eyes. I'm not gonna lie. Where it's
So
just
I
like
have no
he
reference.
gets to enjoy it.
So I'm just there, an
That's good.
innocent child. But actually, so like I was gonna say, back to Vampire. I was gonna stop playing because I was getting tired of it. But then I respect my character. I reallocated all my experience points, and then it just felt like a brand new game to me. I got to like focus in on my strategy, my fight strategy. I got to, cut off those like random experiment points. Because I was just trying all the moves to see which ones I like. So I got to really focus my character and build my stamina bar and my blood capacity, and I really got to hone in on my fight style and. It just became fun again. I was like playing, I was whipping ass, I was like beating bosses. The bosses were actually kind of challenging because I'm trying to do the no kill mode or achievement, whatever. Um, and so that's at the hardest version to play because you're not when you kill people or like bite them, you get extra experience, and which will make the game easier. So I'm actually finally on the last chapter. I'm on the sixth chapter, and I'm trying to find Harriet. uh, I wanted to say Harriet Tubman, but that's not her name. Well, I gotta find Harriet
She's
Tubman. But
supposedly in the Underground Railroad. So,
Like
So-
that's a whole different
Is-
game. Like
isn't this like a really like dialogue heavy game and like your choices matter and stuff like
it
that?
is very heavy on the dialogue, and that's something I
Okay.
mentioned in the previous episodes where it was just like there is so much talking, and one thing, it's like you almost get as much experience from just talking to everybody than like fighting people because there's just so much talking. So it's like you'll talk to one person and this person will reveal something about another person. So it's like you go to that person and then you're like doing a lot of back and forth, like almost like investigation. It is an investigation, I guess. So yeah, I saw somebody's review. They were like, "Yeah, you should let your girlfriend play this because there's a lot of talking, there's a lot of gossip, there's a lot of tea." So I was laughing at that. I forgot where I saw it, but if I remember, I'll give credit. But he's very true that there's so much talking. Half the game, maybe even 3/4 of the game is talking, and if you like that sort of thing, like it's pretty good talking. The dialogue.
I love
good.
that
They
in
have like
games.
everyone's
So much.
talking,
Nice.
like they have their own little voice actor, and it's not like just words popping up and like, oh, it does
oh,
say
okay.
that.
I thought. Oh my God, like the. I hate the games where there's like a lot of dialogue, and there's just like the characters making sounds,
like Zelda.
like in Zelda, where they're like.
Oh,
They're like,
I was just,
got
I'm
a
just like,
sim
what the fuck
voice,
is happening?
sim sounds. They're not saying real words. Like, what the
No,
fuck?
they're just like, I was just like, why are you?
Nah,
Fucking Nintendo.
I'm fine with that. I don't mind
Yeah.
it.
Nah,
I mean,
I
not
don't
Zelda.
like
I don't
that,
like
yo.
that.
I
I don't
like
like that game at all.
especially in The Witcher, they have very good voice acting too,
Yeah.
and I appreciate that in an RPG game, especially open world where you like kind of get lost in the
Nice.
game. And
so Vampire feels
so,
kind of like quality wise similar to Witcher in terms of dialogue and
uh,
ish.
it's a
Maybe not.
different style of talking.
Okay.
Because Witcher, they actually give you choices and stuff. Most of the
Mhm.
Vampire is like it's preset. You just have to click it until
Oh,
like
okay.
until the last question. Then it's like a trifork where it's like you can say each one's like one might represent an angry answer or one might be like a peaceful answer.
Kinda
Yeah,
like,
it's
and then
the
you
Mass
kind of
Effect
choose.
dialogue trees.
So yeah, so
Yeah,
like,
And then like
the
usually that
Horizon
Horizon is
kind
the
of
same
match,
way.
usually that last question kind of sets the bar, I guess.
Okay.
And depending how you talk to people, clearly, like in real life, they'll open up more to you or like tell you, give you more hints and want to open up to you and tell you all the tea and the gossip because there's like 5 districts. Um, but like I was saying last week, I was you have to since you're a doctor in the game, you're a doctor vampire, you have to take care of all the people. They get actual illnesses and you have to make the medicine and you go up to them and give them the medicine and the better care you take of the citizens, the healthier the district is. And right now I've just been playing the story mode and neglecting them, so like
So
all my
can you eat
towns
your
are like,
patients?
yes, you can.
Nice.
And they give you there's like a whole system. The more you talk to them and the more you get these hints, the more you dialogue and like rapport you get with them, the more experience they give you when you eat them. So that's how you're supposed to
That's
do
amazing.
it.
You got
So
you
that's
gotta
how
season
that's
them
how
up
you're
a bit first.
yeah, exactly. You gotta like marinate them and be like, oh, okay. So but there's also a depending how many people you kill, there is like 4 different endings. So I'm trying to get the ending where you don't kill anybody. It's supposed to be the hardest and the best.
Nice.
So I'm shooting for that one. And yeah, so now all my districts are pretty much like one step away from critical, which is when like all the werewolves and monsters and the creatures start just overrunning the town and killing the NPCs.
Oh damn.
So I'm trying to end this game ASAP. So 'cause my town is just whittling away very quickly, and I gotta find Harriet Tubman. She's hiding in the sewer somewhere.
Danny, do you have any idea what
it's
we want to
been
jump
real.
to after this?
After this,
You can go
I
back and try
really
to kill
want to
those
finish.
lions.
I really want to finish Breath of the Wild, and
Oh
I think
wow.
I'm gonna jump between that and World War Z. I've been in like a
Nice.
shoot 'em up mode lately, and this weekend starts my spring break. I'm going to New Jersey for 2 weeks.
Nice.
Uh, Yes, actually, officially, like, asked my professor if I could take my week off so I can go to your wedding thing. So
Okay.
everything is situated, and I'm looking forward to that too. So it should be awesome 2 weeks.
Very cool. Yeah, you'll get to meet Nadia for the first time.
Yeah,
Oh man, thanks to COVID. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, so Dan, what you been playing this week?
I finished off Horizon Forbidden West. I got the platinum.
Oh,
Nice,
wow,
nice.
platinum. Shit.
Yeah.
Dude.
No, I'm platinum games out here. Whether or not I enjoy them, that's a whole nother story. But I'm platinum.
That's commendable.
Yeah, but no, I
That's
I enjoyed it. Like I said, I
determination.
yeah, no, I talked about this is my third week now talking about this game. So it's the story is cool, it's good. There's definitely a cliffhanger where they're like, shit's gonna happen. They're setting up for Horizon next confusing name that people are gonna confuse with other names. And
Vertical dawn, vertical dusk.
yeah, exactly. It's like between that and all the DLCs, it's like I can't remember what's what anymore. Like, but it was cool. Got the platinum, and more importantly, by getting the platinum, my overall gamer score finally got out of that bronze because there's no way I'm a fucking bronze gamer, and I'm in the silver level now. Gamer score
Good shit.
300, where I belong, because I'm not
Gamer
quite
score-
gold, but I'll take silver.
Nice,
I need
nice.
to know what I am compared to you now. I have no idea what my score is.
I mean, it's really based off of your trophies. Like if you go out and you get trophies,
Yeah.
it goes higher. But
I don't. I'm not a trophy hunter, but I just checked.
Mhm.
I'm 367. So
Nice,
you
yeah,
you got in there.
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you were on the PS3, I wasn't. Like that's the thing. So
Yeah.
who's on your life? Like
Yeah,
bringing
it's
up a lot. I was
definitely
like,
'cause
look at
I-
the number of games you played. Look at the number of games I played. You
Yeah,
should
too
be
many.
much
There's not many
further
games.
ahead of me.
All right. Relax.
No, he's talking about Rudy.
I'm
not
talking
you.
about Rudy. That applies. You know what? That applies to anybody. Because
It
everybody
applies-
who was
it
on the
applies to
PS3,
me,
you think
man.
you're all high and mighty. Ooh, look at me. I have these games that are really hard to make backwards compatible now. Ooh, everything sucks because of the PS3. Screw you. Screw you. I'm at the silver tier.
Congrats.
Thank you. And
Works hard for his money, his points.
yeah, so that's like I think that's like 24 platinums now. But
Yeah, but who's counting?
yeah,
I mean,
check out my
dude.
GG app. I have everything there and everything. But yeah, so I did that and I was like, all right, I want to play something else. I want to get into something I haven't gotten to in a while. And since Danny put in so much time with The Witcher 3, I thought let me get into Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh,
And yeah, it's a game, like it crashed once. I was able to 12 characters. At one point there was a thing in the story mode where my character was like getting glitched or something, and it lasted for a real long time. I was like, wow, I wonder if this gets fixed. I looked it up online. It was only supposed to last about 30 seconds. I dealt with it for about 2 hours.
Damn.
The crazy thing is this game is much better than it was the first time I played it. It glitched and crashed thing worse a lot more a year ago. So it has
Wow.
improved. It has
I
improved.
guess.
Mine is still in the
shitty.
plastic.
So it sounds like it's gone from broken to bad.
Yeah.
It's one
That's so
step closer.
disappointing. There was so much hype on that game.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
one
and you
step
still have the
closer being
PS4
okay.
in plastic. Don't take it out the plastic. The PS5
No, I'm
version is
leaving
the
it
better
there.
version. Yeah.
No, I'm leaving it there. Maybe it'll become a collector's item.
I mean, the sad thing though is like the world is interesting. Like the story
Yeah.
is sort of interesting. I'm doing missions. It's cool. It's basically a first-person shooter RPG, and you know how much I hate first-persons and shooters, but I like RPGs, so I'm struggling with that. I don't know. I'm having fun. I mean, it's really just going to be kind of
So-
like a transitional game.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If it actually worked, do you think you would like it, or is it
I
still
think
just
I'd-
kind of like a mediocre game, or like an okay game?
For my style of like games I like and games I enjoy, I think like if this game worked the way it's supposed to, the best it could be for me is okay. I like the world, I like the setting, but I really hate the fact that you're forced to be in first person so much. I can't stand that. I've always been a third person type of guy. I can't handle it. I'm becoming an old man, and
He gets
You got-
seasickness. He's like, I can't do first person.
I really do. For this game, it hasn't happened yet, but there's that. I can't do shooters. Ugh. Like it's amazing that I love Mass Effect. It involves so much. But I can't stand shooters. Like it just doesn't. My brain doesn't work that way.
Just to give my quick like angle on that too, just because I am really into first person shooters,
Mhm.
but I'm not. I have no patience for like bad first person shooters,
Mhm.
and it's their first time. It was CDPR's first time at a first person game. They went with first person combat.
Mhm.
They already only had kind of serviceable third person combat with Witcher. By Witcher, it was like good, but not amazing.
Yeah, it was okay.
The first person combat is really only serves to get in your way in Cyberpunk. Whether you are into first person shooters or not, it's just very clunky feeling. My issues with that game weren't even about bugs or glitches. I didn't encounter many. I played a bit. I think I played like maybe 15 hours when it first came out, and I was like, this gameplay's not doing it for me. This world isn't doing it for me. This dialogue and these characters, they're really not doing it for me. Like, I love Witcher 3. I spent like hundreds of hours in it, and it just didn't have that level of care to its characters and writing, at least from what I
the thing that's like that was crazy about this game.
Were you talking about Witcher or Punk's
Cyberpunk.
It's the same studio that made both games.
okay,
That's why. Yeah.
So he was saying he played more hours in Witcher and enjoyed it way more than for 2077 like for 2077 when it was coming out and they were doing those weekly fucking shows and all this shit. Yeah, you know how much I hated.
As soon as I played the game, I was like, "I'm gonna talk about this on the podcast," and Eslam's just gonna bring up those little shows because you had a vendetta
like
against
Night City Wires.
The Night City Wires. Eslam had a pure hate for that.
They were fucking.
I agree.
They were fucking terrible. Yeah. And then you built up all this hype. They were talking about like weapons and all this shit. Like, oh, it's so cool. And then your game is straight up buggy and trashy. And then it's just like no wonder people were asking for their money back. And it's just like you can't do like if you're gonna do that, then your game has to like bring it hard.
Oh yeah, Danny, this game was so bad. PlayStation got to the point they're like, we're taking it off the PlayStation Store until you guys fix it.
Yeah.
So it's like after a while you couldn't even buy the game, and then when it became past, on.
They should also they all just embarrass Keanu Reeves like that. That's embarrassing. They should be ashamed of themselves.
Keanu Reeves got embarrassed twice too. That sucks. Yeah, well, he did that game embarrassed him, and that fucking the movie that came out,
Matrix.
Yeah, the Matrix.
Yeah.
Movie.
Let's be real. When was the Matrix ever good? It was always trash.
Back in 1999 when it first came out.
The Matrix when it came out was badass.
I rented it from Blockbuster. It was one of the first DVDs I ever put into my PlayStation 2, and I was like, "Wow, this is really not good."
I'll give you it. The second and third aren't the best, but I really like the first one.
I love the second one.
I'm not going to get triggered by this.
It's fine. Guys. We all have different opinions. I think the Matrix is just hot garbage.
Funny if Rusty just punches the shit out of his iPad.
The new Matrix was trash though. I'll admit.
I didn't see it.
Oh, I didn't watch that shit. I'm talking about the first one. I'm talking about the first one.
Also, I didn't watch the third one, so I still got 2 more to go.
Clearly, I'm the biggest
man. Finish that trilogy.
The new Matrix was bad.
So that sucks for Keanu Reeves. But in other good news, he's going to be the new voice of Batman in Super Pets.
So you take that seriously as Batman?
What?
Saying Keanu Reeves is going to be the voice of Batman is the same as saying like Will Arnett is the voice of Batman, right? Like,
I mean, Will Arnett was the voice of Batman, though.
Yeah.
Do you see him as a Batman though?
But would you call him Batman?
His voice as Batman. I put Kevin Conroy as the best Batman ever.
Yeah.
I agree, but it's not about just voice. I mean, he's a comedy gag.
Yeah, no,
character.
it's funny.
It's not really Batman.
Yeah, but Michael Keaton wasn't the guy, and then
what are you doing?
All right, but let's table the.
We'll get to the Batman.
I apologize for bringing up Keanu Reeves as Batman. Jesus Christ, let's move on.
He's got a jumpy. How dare you?
It's all good. Fuck the Matrix.
He's like, but he's not the real Batman.
Fuck the Matrix, though.
That's fine.
All right, let's jump. Rusty, what have you been
playing?
Oh, I'm sorry, you're done, Dan?
Yeah, I'm done. I've been playing shit. I will. That's all I want.
Wait. So I thought you had been playing Elden Ring too, or no?
No, he hasn't played it yet.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
So, yeah, I've been playing a lot. So last week I was playing full on Horizon Forbidden West. Got it day one, and I had to choose between that and Elden Ring. My friend's been like a big Souls fan since like 2009, starting with Demon Souls, and he was all over that. But yeah, I decided to go with Horizon. Decided to go with Aloy. I really liked the first game. It had its faults, but yeah, I was trying to get into Forbidden West, and I was liking it for I want to say like 10 hours or so, 10, 11 hours. The world felt properly like huge. It had a lot of quality of life improvements over the first game. Graphically, it is just beautiful, like on a technical level. Draw distance is crazy, resolution is crazy, frame rate's crazy. Like everything about it is beautiful and technical. But then I was like, uh, this dialogue is just, it really started draining me. The dialogue was draining me. All of like the side quests and like the side quests didn't feel entertaining to me or important to the main story.
Yeah. I feel
Um,
only like a few stuck out to me, but overall, no.
and like the dialogue, I've gotten really tired of the dialogue because it doesn't really feel like I'm interacting with people. It feels like they're giving information to me, and my dialogue choices are give me more information or continue the quest.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm really tired of that. I'm a huge fan of Mass Effect. Like
yeah.
I want to be able to react to what you're telling me and control where the conversation goes, the way someone would in real life. So it's like it starts just feeling like trivia being thrown at me, and I started skipping dialogue and stuff. And I
Yeah,
don't want
that's
to have
what
to do that.
that's literally what I started doing in
Yeah, like
Zero Dawn. Like
if I
once I
get to a
realized that
point,
like none of what they say matter to like the mission, I'm just
yeah,
like, all right, X.
and
Let's get through this.
yeah. So I had told myself, I'm like, I have to beat Horizon before I even think about buying Elden Ring. And then I was 25 hours into Horizon, and I was like, this is a chore. And I'm looking over at my friend, and he's just having the time of his life in Elden Ring. And then my other friend pulls the trigger. He jumps into Elden Ring. They start screen sharing with each other. They start texting each other in the group chat about how much fun they're having. And the FOMO got to me, and I was like,
And you're
fuck
over
it,
there,
just
kill the Thunderjaw.
did I want to kill it? I don't. And so yeah, this like past weekend, I think I jumped into two things. I jumped into Elden Ring, and I jumped into Gran Turismo 7. And
87 on Open Critic, guys.
starting with Elden Ring, I'm absolutely in love with it, and this is coming from someone who has bought Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Demon Souls. I've bought all of these. I've spent
Just
maybe like
torturing yourself.
at least 20 to like 30 hours in each of those games, and I'm like, I can't fucking do it. It's something about it is not grabbing me enough to want to keep coming back to it. And then Elden Ring just fucking got me. It's because
Nice.
Elden Ring has, it was never about it being too hard. It was very hard, and I did die a lot, but that didn't like deter me. It was just the worlds felt very linear. I couldn't wrap my head around like the way that they convey story, and I didn't like that kind of mysterious and abstract storytelling in a very linear fashion that made me like repeat areas so much. And Elden Ring fixes all of that just by giving you like the magic of the like Breath of the Wild open world, and it's in such great contrast to Horizon that like there's barely any speaking in Elden Ring, and yet the world feels so fucking rich and alive and like handcrafted, and you just I don't know, it feels so much more alive than Horizon's world, even without any talking. It like stripped away all of the fat,
Nice.
and you get to just focus on like everything you do feels like you're the one discovering it, you're the one exploring it for the first time. Very like if you've ever felt that magic of Zelda, this is just Breath of the Wild with really solid combat, making you work for beating those bosses and getting that like excitement when you finally do defeat the bosses. And yeah, that's pretty much. So me and two of my friends, we've been screen sharing. So we do picture in picture while we're playing. We can see where the other one is, and we sit on chat together, and we help each other. Like if someone's done a dungeon already and I'm going in for my first time, they'll give me some tips or something. And it's so it's not true multiplayer in that respect. We even do a couple times we did jump into a game together for like a proper co-op.
Mhm.
But even more fun than that is just talking to each other while we're playing in our own separate worlds. It's
So
it's
there
a
is a
great time.
co-op. You can like play
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, you can go co-op. There's a lot of restrictions on co-op. So in many circumstances, it might end up even being harder for you to beat a big boss if you bring in a friend, because it limits how much you can regain health. It limits how much magic you can use. It limits how much damage you're putting out. So it really
Yeah.
really
So it impacts your
debuffs you.
gameplay. Yeah.
Yeah. But it is fun to just stick around with a friend in co-op and you do like emojis at each other. I mean emotes and shit. Um, but yeah, so that's been fantastic. And then when I'm not playing Elden Ring, I'm getting a couple races in Gran Turismo,
Mhm.
and that game is just like, for me, it's like the definition of like a polished package. Like I feel good spending the
Back
fucking $70 on that game.
back to Elden Ring before you
Yeah,
transfer
yeah.
over. How's that? How's the gameplay like the fighting? Like
I'm a really big fan of it. I don't know how much experience you have with previous Souls games.
not really.
I would come. Okay, so
I always like to say they make you want to rip your dick off.
there's they have different types. So the Dark Souls gameplay vibe is very much defense first, kind of a slower paced back and forth between you and the enemy. You're trying to like read their attacks and just learn when to block, when to dodge, and then go in for your attacks.
So timing,
Um,
like
yeah,
really get that timing right.
Yeah, exactly.
So very,
Can you
very like
can
It's
you
super
very
hard version.
meticulous. Yeah.
So
one
like a
thing
super duper harder version of Ghost of Tsushima.
one thing that I
No,
do
if
have.
if you wanted to say super harder version of Ghost of Tsushima, you'd be looking at Sekiro, which is another one of their
Okay.
games.
Mhm.
It's because both Sekiro and Ghost of Tsushima are offense based
Mm,
and aggression based. And I wouldn't say that this isn't aggression based. This is
okay.
mostly defense based and kind of
It's like
just
really
getting the rhythm
reactive.
down.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
When you said there's powers, like one thing that I guess I have reference to is like Witcher, and one thing I didn't like with Witcher is like you can only use one power at a time, or like if you want to switch powers, you literally had to go to the menu and like manually switch it. Whereas in like Vampire, you can have like the trigger buttons each are their own power, which I thought is like much better. I like the multi having a button for its own power. Is
yeah, you're
how's the
definitely
gameplay
gonna
in that
be
regard?
you'll be very frustrated with the way that any FromSoft game handles swapping different powers, different stats, different inventory items. It's all cumbersome. It's all overly complicated for no reason. Most of it's not explained to you. You have to look it up or have a friend explain it to you. Um, and it's gotten to the point that like I think it's totally fair to see that as a flaw in the game, but they've kind of doubled down on it so much over the past like more than 10 years now that it's become like kind of the charm of
Yeah.
their series. So you either click with it or you don't. And I'm right there with you. For a long time I've been like, the fuck is this? Like, learn how to make a game. Right? Nothing about this is like user friendly. Why are you doing it this way? So far I would say that it, for anyone that kind of knows the amount of overcomplication that they expect from a From Software game, Elden Ring is a pleasant surprise in that it is easier to get into, and it's less punishing than their previous games. I think that's a big reason that it's getting as popular as it is. You can it doesn't feel like you're just really getting stomped on. Yeah, you're gonna die, probably several times, but you feel yourself getting better each time, and nothing feels kind of like a bullshit kill. Like out of nowhere, you just get like one hit by something. For the most part, it feels more balanced and a little more fair to the player. So I think that's a big part of why it's
I
blowing
do
up. Is
I do have one question.
Hmm.
Earlier this week, I got once again shout out to Henry. He was playing Elden Ring, and Rudy and I jumped into his gameplay. We were share playing, and he's out there. It does seem fun. I don't know if it's really my bag, but it seems cool. And I have a question because I was giving Henry so much shit. Because he kept saying that there are these walls, and then he would take a sword and hit a wall, and nothing would happen. And I'm just like, there's no fucking hidden walls. You're fucking me. He's like, no, there's hidden walls. And he was doing this for like a good like 45 minutes, and he just kept on. He's like, no, there's a hidden room here. It's in the game. I'm like, okay, sure
Well,
it is.
I mean, one
It's
of the
like
things
Mario.
that-
You have to jump at the invisible like block.
yeah.
Because he just kept on doing it every 5
Those-
seconds. Like, I think there's
those
yeah,
do-
okay.
Those do exist, but
Okay.
but the big thing that happens is that so in all these games, you've always been able to you can write down notes on the ground.
Oh, I
and
did
those
see that.
those notes show up in everyone else's games.
Yeah, it's pretty
So
cool.
it's like a kind of a multiplayer communication. So one of the big things that happened,
Like the peeing thing on.
like the ping thing in Death Stranding, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
Or like, yeah, there's a lot of overlap with how that stuff works in Death Stranding. But essentially, you'll see a lot of notes that are dropped right at a wall, and it'll just say like hidden wall ahead, or like hidden room ahead, or like keep swinging, keep attacking, and it's not. It's a wall, and they're just fucking with you.
Because the first thing I thought of is like when I saw that and he explained the same thing to me, I was like, oh, dude, if
Yeah.
this was me, I just put random lyrics to like 80s songs like all over the place just to fuck with people. Like,
They do, and they did. Yeah, they control it. You can't write anything you want. You have to pick from like a. There's different templates and different words that you can choose, but people find ways to turn that into silly shit.
yeah.
He's like,
Nice.
"Welcome to the jungle."
All right.
Over.
Yeah. Elden Ring sounds pretty awesome. I will get into it in like a couple of years eventually.
I think you could enjoy it if you go into a little open minded. If you like Zelda, I think anybody who liked Breath of the Wild and feels pretty comfortable with the controller for some combat, I think you can get into Elden Ring.
Okay,
Not
that
for me,
sounds
then.
good.
And then last
Killed any
thing, I just want
winos
to touch
this
on.
week though.
No,
Go ahead.
no, I just want to talk about Gran Turismo really quick.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
I've also just never been a huge fan of sim racers or Gran Turismo for that matter. I've played Gran Turismo on PS3 and on PS4, and it didn't hold my attention for long because it really didn't have like a good sense of speed to it. Everything felt like a little too technical, and it felt flat or like kind of boring to me. Gran Turismo 7 just fixes all that. The DualSense feels fantastic. The graphics are insane. The level of detail is amazing, and the graphics are insane in a way. I also have Forza Horizon 5, and they're both beautiful games in different ways. Forza Horizon is beautiful, kind of similar to the way Horizon Forbidden West is. Like, it's just very saturated, big valleys, mountains, beautiful skies. So like the whole environment looks really beautiful all around you. Whereas like Gran Turismo is just like perfect detail on like a controlled course. You have amazing lighting, amazing reflections, you like amazing detail in the surfaces, and yeah, I don't know, the physics are great. The car, like you feel and you see the suspension of the car. You can feel when you're like skidding out. You can really get a vibe, and it has linear progression, which I really love. So I start with like a shitty little hatchback and I work my way up, and so I feel like I'm getting better and better as I go.
Nice.
I'm really digging it. Yeah, that's pretty much it.